Add your healing tea today. Good morning, everyone. Yes, welcome to another interesting episode of Health Insurance 101 with Princess Kadiemiko. Still on the 12 commandments for a vibrant heart. Beloved, when your heart is in good condition, every other thing in the body takes care of itself. So yesterday, we did the 6th and the 7th commandments. Today, we are going to the 8th and the 9th commandment because I want it done this week. So that next week, I plan coming up with juices and smoothie recipe that we can take for a healthy, vibrant heart. So I want to get the 12 commandments done this week. So commandment number 8. Thou shalt go for regular medical checks. Yes, you heard me. Proverbs 22 verse 3 says, a prudent man foresees danger and takes cover, but the foolish one walks into it. Prevention is better than cure. A prudent man is the man that goes for medical checks to foresee, to see if there is anything that will turn up to a terrible disease and sickness later. Oh yes. Don't forget that the body is a soil. So if there's any error or mistake, it can decay, it can defile, it can get, things can happen. It can grow molds. Oh yes. So we need to go for regular medical checks. Very important. To prevent sickness. To prevent diseases. Very, very important. How often do we go for this medical check? It depends on your health status and my health status. It depends. If there are no health issues at all, once a year is okay. But if you're already prone or there's already a family history of high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, from 40 plus or even before 40 these days, as a result of the environmental stress and what is going on, you need to go for regular medical checks. You are even supposed to have some tools at home, like the blood pressure monitor, very important. Your sugar detector, very important, your sugar monitor. Because most of all these sicknesses don't give sign. I remember someone walking into a clinic. He was just driving past the clinic, his company clinic. He said, let me just do a checkup, let me just check. I have not been here for long. And by the time he went in, the doctor, when they took his vital signs, his sugar level was 320 something. Yes, I remember vividly. And the doctor asked him how he got to the clinic. Did he drive himself? He said no, that the driver brought him. And they had to admit him immediately. If he had been going for regular checks, and he was already complaining of his eyes, complaining of body weakness, so we need to go for medical check. And by the time he was coming back from the clinic, thank God, it's a good clinic, they gave him a sugar control monitor and a blood pressure monitor. And they told him at least within 2 days, he must check his sugar level because they were able to stabilize the sugar level. Within the week, they were able to stabilize the sugar level to about 110 from 320 something. And they asked him to always check. Oh yes, prevention is better than cure. That thing that happened could have just made him collapse and stroke will enter. Blood pressure was also high. So once there's already a medical challenge, a medical issue, you check your blood pressure. Once you notice that your work is stressing you, we know. The family is stressing you. You're always under pressure. You're always trying to meet up one thing or the other. Your heart is always palpitating. You're always multitasking. You're always doing a lot of things. Beloved, have a blood pressure monitor at home. Very important. People have slumped. People have died. People have had stroke. So it is always good to go for medical checks. Women, please listen. Always go for medical checks. Check your breasts for any lump. check your womb. If you've not had a child, make sure you always go for medical checks in case the fibroid or fibroids are growing. Just go for a check. Don't wait until that fibroid has developed hand and leg and a big head before you start running letter, skirt, and no. These things can well be treated, eradicated when they are very small. So you need to always go for medical checks. Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. By the time you go and you see that little drop, that evil little drop can quickly take care of it before it turns into something else. So regular medical checks is a prudent way of preventing sickness. And then the next commandment, which I believe, as many under the sound of my voice, they are not even into it. But I just want to sound it in case of those that would love to share the video or that will help to share the video. Thou shalt avoid smoking, cigarette, shasha. What do they call this latest one? They call shishi or shasha. There is nothing good about cigarette. There's nothing good about smoking. There's nothing good about inhaling smoke. Even the generator fumes. I'm going to use myself. I'm going to give a testimony of myself, so to say. I remember there was a time in the shopping complex where I had a shop. There was no light for weeks, and all the shops on that line, they were all using generator. That day, I just took a walk from the beginning to the end. And by the time I came back into my shop, you know, I had this scratch inside my nose. I said, let me just scratch it. And by the time I put my hand in my nose, I brought it out and black. I was so scared. What is going on? I checked the other one, black. I quickly took tissue. I put it inside. It was black fumes were coming out. I blew my black fumes. To cut the long story short, I realized that it was the fumes I inhaled while I was walking past the line where generator fumes were coming out. I wasn't smoking cigarettes. I wasn't smoking, but you see, I'm just trying to cite the danger of even a third-party smoker or smoke, so to say. And quickly, of course, I did a personal cleanse. Imagine somebody inhaling such every day. Not to talk of the one you light up. The person lights up and inhales the smoke. Even on the packet of the cigarettes, you see dangerous, awful pictures of how your liver, the kidney, the colon will look like when you don't stop taking that substance. Nicotine, shasha or shisha, whatever they call it, the research has come out that it causes lung cancer, kidney cancer. It's a cancer causer, diabetes. There's nothing good about inhaling smoke. Even those that do smoke fish, even those that do smoke chicken, if they don't have a personal detoxifying process, they don't last long. Because those fumes are very carcinogenic. I mean cancerogenic. They cause a lot of cancer. So beloved, thou shalt avoid smoke. Cigarette is a killer. Shishi or whatever they call it. Nicotine is a killer. Tobacco is a killer. Anything deadly, and these things are so addictive. They are drugs. Beloved, smoking collapses the immune system. Summary of it all. And once your immune system is collapsed, what is left? So please, as much as you can, go for medical checks. Avoid smoking or even being a third party smoker. When you see fumes and smokes and all those things, try to avoid that environment. And as you do all this, by the sure mercies of God, your health will not fail. Remain blessed. Shalom.